What's up guys, my name is Ace, and the best thing that came with Season 3, in my opinion, was a fix to the suppressor attachments in Modern Warfare 2. What I mean by this, I'm just going to blast through this quickly since I know I've repeated this many times in other videos, is before the Season 3 update, if you're using the Ghost perk and you had it active, when you fired a gun, whether it was suppressed or not, it would disable your Ghost perk and leave you vulnerable to UAV sweeps. And in the case of a suppressed gun, while you wouldn't show up on the minimap directly, you would still be canceling out your Ghost perk and therefore showing up on the radar even though you're using Ghost and a suppressor, the combination that has always been designed to keep you off the radar. And that was finally fixed with the Season 3 update, so now if you do use a suppressor combined with the Ghost perk, firing your suppressed gun will no longer disable the Ghost perk, and therefore you can constantly stay off the radar, unless of course the enemy team has an advanced UAV in the air. And while I've tested all of these suppressor attachments and all of them work in this way, something I didn't think to test last week when this update came was the unique barrel attachments that many of the guns have that have an integrated suppressor in them. And I've seen several comments asking me to test this, and also got this tweet yesterday from Chad. Thank you so much for sharing this. It turns out these integrated suppressed barrels are not working the same way as suppressors now, even though the stated effects in the menus are the same. And what this means is if you're using that integrated suppressor on a gun combined with the Ghost perk, firing that gun will disable your Ghost perk just like the suppressors used to. And this is just something I wanted to draw attention to, especially since in the menus it's stated that these integrated suppressors will work like a suppressor. This should be working consistently across both of these. And it seems like this was perhaps just an oversight on the developer's end. I went through and tested every single one of these integrated suppressed barrels that I was able to find in the game, and none of them work like an actual suppressor in the game now. And this has likely been causing some confusion, at least for some people out there, thinking that they're staying off the radar, when in fact they are showing up for the enemy team. And I feel like we should be seeing consistency here. Now that they've fixed suppressors, they should also be fixing these integrated suppressed barrels, at least in my opinion. Or if for some reason this was an intended design and they want integrated suppressed barrels to work different from suppressor attachments, I feel like they need to rework the descriptions on these at least, to point out that these barrels will still be disabling your Ghost perk. So hopefully this is something the developers will be able to get on top of reasonably quickly. For those curious, I did want to go through all of the different guns that have these integrated suppressed barrels. Keep in mind this also applies to the default barrel on the Chimera. It is stated that it has a integrated suppressor by default on the barrel, and it looks like a suppressor and sounds like a suppressor in the game, but these are not working like suppressors. So keep that in mind, at least at this point. If you want to stay off the radar consistently, make sure you're using one of these suppressor muzzles, not an integrated suppressed barrel, because those integrated suppressed barrels simply won't keep your Ghost perk active, and therefore you will be showing up on the radar. Now, one final point here, and just a suggestion that I have at the end of this video, this has to do with the Crossbow. For those that aren't aware, the Crossbow works like an unsuppressed gun when it comes to this, so it will be disabling the Ghost perk when you fire. And in my opinion at least, I think the Crossbow should work like a suppressed gun. I mean, that should be one of the clear benefits of using a Crossbow, is it's a whole lot more quiet than shooting a gun. Even a suppressed gun, a Crossbow would be a lot more quiet than that. And since the Crossbow isn't all that powerful to begin with, I rarely see anybody using it now. I basically just saw people using it when it first came out. I think it would be great if the Crossbow had that additional benefit of ensuring that you stay off the radar and you don't disable your Ghost perk when you fire the Crossbow. Of course, that part is just my opinion and my suggestion here. I am curious to hear if you guys agree with that though. Do you think the Crossbow should work like a suppressed gun or not? And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's really quick video. I just wanted to get this out there to hopefully ensure that a fix will come a little bit sooner for this. It seems pretty clear to me that this isn't intended design. I really do think this was just an oversight. But if not, there definitely should be at least a mention in the description for these barrels that they don't work the same way as a suppressed muzzle. If you enjoyed this one, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.